All right, it's the off season. Let's talk sponsorship. My name's Greg, and you're watching How to Play Paintball. All right, guys, so it is the off season, so I wanted to talk about some tips that I have on how to get sponsorship in paintball. The first thing that I want to actually bring up is don't go into a sponsorship, request or whatever, expecting the world. Especially if you're in a lower division, it's just kind of where it is. Paintball isn't where it was in like the early 2000s and all of that, where even D2 teams were getting some full rides. That's just not where the sport is at right now, and hopefully it'll get back to that point in the future, but that's just not where it's at. So that's why you don't want to go in expecting, okay, we're going to get head to toe all this gear, and we're going to get this for free and this for free, and we're going to go and they're going to pay for this and that. Don't go in expecting all of that, because it's probably not going to happen. Especially if you're in the lower division. Just don't go into a request thinking that you're going to be getting all this stuff, because it's probably not going to happen. It's hard enough as is for even some of the higher ranked teams to get those kinds of sponsorships at times. So don't go in expecting all of that. That would be my first tip. The next tip that I would actually give you is start local. There's a lot that you can do, and I'm going to give you some tips in a little bit, but start off with your local field and your local store. Try to see if there's some sort of relationship that you can build with that. I guess I can just get into it now. I mean, some ideas that you can bring up is, look, can we help with reffing or helping clean up the field and get free entry or a discount on paint, or both? Or is there any way that maybe you guys can talk to GI or ProShar or HK and help us with getting paint discounts at this next tournament if we help you out with these things. Ultimately, starting off small is going to be the best thing that you can do, because that way you're face to face with people. You're able to be a good representation at the field, especially if you're able to go in and people actually want you to be there. And if it's something that helps bring in business, then the business is going to want to do that. So that would lead into the next thing, which is, what are you going to do for them? Ultimately, a lot of it at the pro level and even semi-pro, there's a lot of advertising that goes into that. There's a lot of things that, whether it be a big social media presence, a big YouTube presence, a big just tournament in general presence, where maybe you have a huge organization and you're under a big umbrella of teams, or you're able to always be posting, all those kinds of things. You're always on the podium, stuff like that. Those are the kinds of things that companies want to sponsor, because you're able to give back to them. People just don't want to give out things for free, and that's just how it is. I mean, ultimately, that's just business. If you're able to, sponsor, as much as you guys might hate them, and I'm a Dolphins fan, so yeah, but like the Patriots, they can go and spend all this money, but they're winning. Like, they're able to go and they're on the top. So if someone goes to Tom Brady, they're going to expect that, okay, we're going to have to pay X amount of dollars to get that sort of a sponsorship deal with him. The same goes with paintball, just in a lot smaller of a scale. Let's use the example of your local field. If you're going in and you're helping bring in business, you're helping keep the field clean, you're helping to help out those newer players and have repeat business from that, of course they're going to want to help you out. That's something that is going to be hugely beneficial to them. But if you go in there and you're always the one that's a jerk, you're starting fights, you're leaving trash everywhere, and then you go in and expect, hey, can we get a discount on paint? No, that's not going to happen. That's just not how it goes. That's just, honestly, it's just very prideful thinking. So you want to go in, honestly, you want to try to be friends with everyone as much as possible. This is something that when I ran the Florida Atlantic University team, you want to try to be cordial with everyone. I mean, I even try to do that now. I try to make sure that no one has a bad impression of me. That's why I tell you guys, I apologize if I seem like a jerk at a tournament, because I don't ever want to be that kind of a player. I want to be someone that is approachable. But the same goes for sponsorship. If you're looking for that, if you're that guy that's always a jerk and always running your mouth and trash talking other people, it's going to be difficult to go and get those sponsorships, and that's just kind of the fact of the matter. So let's say that now you're a team that is you're growing, you already have this relationship with your local field, they're helping you out, maybe they're giving you some free paint, giving you free entry, or just giving you a stupid good discount on paint and entry, stuff like that. And let's say that now you're wanting to get into more national events, starting to get more on a big stage, and you're trying to go and get that help so that way you can actually go ahead and play those tournaments. This is when I would say to go for the larger companies. So this is when I would say for you to look into paint companies specifically. I wouldn't recommend going after gear and clothing and guns and stuff like that, because you need paint. You don't necessarily need to all be shooting the same gun, the same hopper, using the same mask, stuff like that. Now there are going to be some things where to get the paint deal you have to wear that equipment or use that equipment, and that's just kind of part of it. But when you're starting to first get into tournaments, and even if you're a successful, let's say local team, having all the same gun and all that really is not that important. Being able to go out and be successful, that's what you really want to focus on. After you start that success and you have all that, then look for help with all these other things. But you need to have paint. You don't need to be shooting the same gun. You don't need to be using the same hopper. Worry about that as you guys move up the ranks. That's something that is going to be more important, down the road. But for the time being, you don't necessarily need to worry about that kind of stuff. Now, if you do want to still go after those, that's up to you. I mean, if you want to have everyone shooting the same gun or wearing the same mask, that's okay. Honestly, when you first start out, like I said, focus on having a field help you out, be a main sponsor. And if you want to go and get the same jersey, that's cool. But, I mean, it's not even that important. You can still get long sleeve shirts and just press your logo on there, or go get them sublimated or whatever pretty cheap, and go out and go play. If you're focusing on looking good instead of winning, you're not going to look good if you're not winning. So honestly, let people make fun of you if you look like a ragtag group, but if you're winning, no one's going to make fun of you. So focus on that stuff first. So let's say now that it's down the road and you have your paint sponsor, you have this. This is when, if you want to start looking more professional and having all the same equipment and building those relationships, this is where this next thing comes in, and that's loyalty. This is something that with the ML Kings, the owner of the Kings is known for this. I think we've been with MacDev. I mean, it's been before I was on the team. This is only my second season with them. I want to say it's at least six years, something like that, maybe 7. Might actually even be longer than that. But the thing is that loyalty, when you keep going back and you have that, they know that you're not just going to be jumping from one place to the next. If you're the kind of team that shoots, let's say Egos, and then you shoot MacDev, and then you shoot Die, and then you shoot Lux, and then you shoot, Shocker, and then you shoot, you go back to Die or whatever, it's going to be hard to get those deals, because they know that, okay, well, you're not even going to be with us next season. So yeah, we're not going to give you a good deal on this stuff. So that's just kind of something, it's just a little tip for you, to try to stay as loyal as you can. That being said, try as hard as you can when you have those kinds of deals. Even if you're only getting a small discount, go and rep those companies. Rep them hard, because that way you can go ahead and show them, look at all this business that we helped get you. So next season, okay, now we're going to give you a better deal, or we're going to start giving you free stuff. There's a pro team, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, so there's a pro team out there that started off with a certain company. It's not our team, but they were one of the first ones, I think, to shoot one of these guns, and they've been with them for a while. I know this is very cryptic, but it'll make sense in a second. They were shooting it for a while, and year after year, they started getting better, and also since they were with them for a couple of years, I think they started getting more and more stuff because of that. And again, that loyalty to a certain organization is going to show a lot to them that, look, we're in it for the long haul. We want to make sure that you guys are successful, so that way, we can be successful. So if you can do that, obviously go ahead and have that loyalty. So that's only a couple tips. I hope it's something that helps you guys out. If there is something else that you'd like for me to talk about, again, I apologize for all the echo in here. Still haven't put up the other stuff. But yeah, if there's something that you want me to go over, if there's a trick or a tip or something like that you want me to help you out with, put it down in the comments down below. And yeah, so again, I hope that this helps you guys out. But as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.